Namaste, welcome to Sujit Talks. My name is Sujit Bilal, registered migration agent here in Melbourne. This video is about whom we should allow first. Is it the Australian citizens, stranded overseas, permanent residents and other eligible people to enter Australia automatically? Or should we give priority to international students who are also desperately waiting to enter Australia and study and boost the Australian economy? So, we are hearing different things from different premiers these days. Victoria will allow international flights to enter Australia, and the premier is giving importance to Australian citizens and permanent residents, giving top priority for them to come back to Australia, because for months and months citizens couldn't enter Melbourne directly. They need to go to another state, do that landing and then come back to Melbourne. It is not that easy. Sometimes they need to do multiple quarantine as a result. So obviously the Premier is giving importance to citizens and permanent residents first. Now the New South Wales Premier is giving importance to international students as well. She said that some number should be allocated to international students because the universities are getting hit because of not having international students, new students. As a result, they are cutting staff, and it is resulting in a chaotic situation in Helico sector and other sectors, higher education and other sectors in international student industry. Now, the first batch of international students came to another state in Australia, not to New South Wales, not to Victoria. And there might be more soon. Now the question here is, thousands and thousands of students are waiting, no doubt, but more than that, thousands of Australian citizens and permanent residents are stranded overseas. They couldn't come back to Australia in time because of the pandemic and because of the travel restrictions as a result, because of the air tickets going sky high. Some people couldn't afford it, some people had other problems. Flight tickets got cancelled, so on and so forth. Some people really wanted to come back, but they couldn't come back. Now, will we allow them to come first or the students first? Now, if you ask me, I would obviously go for the citizens and permanent residents first because they are already settled here and they need to come back. They might have a house here and other things. The next priority is I would give to those temporary residents whom we are not really talking much about, those 457 or 482 holders or 489 holders, or all these bridging visa holders on BVB who have left Australia thinking that they will come back by March or April and they got stuck there. These people have a future here in Australia if they can come back. I know there are concessions made for 887 applicants. I know there are concessions made for 485 and student visa holders, but they're not enough. They need to be brought back very soon, whenever that be. The last priority in the group should be given to students, because students who did not come here will not have that connection like the other people have. And what about people like me, Australian citizens who are in Australia, can't go to meet their parents, can't bring parents as well because of travel restrictions. We are stuck here. What about us? So we are all in this together. There is no discrimination against Australian students as far as I know, because government can't look after everyone, including citizens as well, because citizens are clearly outside Australia and they can't do much about it, which means that there is no discrimination, whether that is a good thing or not, whether it's a good thing to stop citizens like me from going out of this country, whether it's a good thing or not is a different thing. It's a different matter altogether. But whether there is a discrimination or not, it can clearly give you an indication that there is no discrimination in this thing. So don't get too upset with this. And if you're not able to study in Australia this time, You can always do online study as well, because the department has given that flexibility where you can apply a student visa and do some online study. It should be considered in future. But those people who want to come to Australia physically and enjoy things like these scenes, beachside walk, and all the things that we do in Australia, these things can only be done when you're physically here. So just wait for the right time. If it is costing you a lot of money for quarantine and other things in this uncertain time, I wouldn't advise anyone to come to Australia to study. Just wait for some more time and see what happens. Of course, Australia has a high class, world class education, there is no doubt, but this is not the right time to study, I believe. So don't get disappointed. That's all I have to say. The bottom line is priority should be given to Australian citizens and permanent residents to come back to Australia. Also, Australian citizens and permanent residents should be allowed to go out of Australia very soon whenever a vaccine is out. So looking forward to all those things happen in 2021, which is not too far. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to Sujit Talks on YouTube. Like my Facebook page as well. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter. My name is Sujit Billar, registered migration agent here in Melbourne. If you are after immigration advice, go to my website, sujittalks.com, schedule a phone or a video consultation session. Ta-da! Bye.